Hello, God bless you. I want to say something today about just from a discussion I had with a couple of young people a few days ago, and I want to bring it to the public and talk about it. It's about those of you, our young ladies, that try so hard to separate your husbands from their families. You do everything you can to manipulate, to cause trouble, to talk your husband into being separated from his family. That is wickedness. It is manipulation, and manipulation is witchcraft. Now, this same young man you are trying to separate from his family is the same young man, that same young man, you are trying to separate him from the womb that carried him. You cannot separate a man from the womb that carried him, except if he's a foolish man. Except if that man had already been hurt by his family before he met you. Otherwise, you cannot separate a man from the womb that carried him, and you cannot separate a man from the blood that produced him. His mother is the womb that carried him. His father is the blood that produced him. You can't separate a man from that. Yes, he's married to you, he's committed to you, but you cannot separate him from his family. And before you know it, most of you begin to quote the scriptures. The Bible says, for this, a man should leave his father and mother and click to his wife, and two of them shall become one. Yes, he has done it already. He's no longer married. He's not married to his family. He's not attached to his family. He's committed to you. He's committed to you. But don't forget that he spent all his life with this family, with his family. Don't forget that he spent, if he's 30 years, he spent that 30 years with his family. If he's 40 years, he spent that 40 years with his family. If he's 25 or 35, he spent it with his family. And then you that he met yesterday, you that he met today or yesterday or a few weeks ago, a few months ago, or just a year ago, a few years ago, you want to separate him. You just come in magically, you want to perform magic, you just come in. No, it's not done. You want to separate him from the family that nurtured him, the family that trained him, that brought him up, that made him who he is today. He became who he is today because his family invested everything. They invested money, invested time, risked their life, invested everything, invested wisdom, knowledge, understanding, went through psychological stress just to invest in him. And today, you want to separate him from that family. Is it not witchcraft? Is it not wickedness? Why will you do that? Why will you do that? What do you benefit in that? Now, this same man you want to separate from his family, listen to me very well. Look at what the scripture said. The Bible said, behold, how good and pleasant it is for brethren to dwell together in unity. Behold, how good and pleasant it is. It is like a jar of oil poured on Aaron's head, flowing down that is so beautiful to behold. And you don't want it. You become a divider, family divider. You become a destroyer, family destroyer. And then before you know it, you quote. You begin to tell him that this is his nuclear family, his family is his extended family. Listen to me. Your husband's family is not an extended family to him. To you, excuse me, and to your children, they may be extended family, uncles but to him, they are not his uncles, they are not his aunties. Excuse me, they are his brothers and sisters. They are his siblings. They are his siblings. If the father, if your husband's father's name is Mr. Joe or Mr. KK, or that's Mr. and Mrs., all their children are the children of Mr. and Mrs. Okeke or Mr. and Mrs. Joe or Mr. and Mrs. Webb, including your husband, all of them. So when you want to count the nuclear family of Mr. and Mrs. Okeke, It is from the first child, from their father, their mother, the first child to the last child, including your husband. They are a nuclear family. They are a nuclear family. Those, his sisters and brothers, are his nuclear family. They are his siblings. So don't stop separating them, trying to separate your husband from his family. That is witchcraft. And God is not happy about it. And let me tell you one secret. No man will trust you if you are separating him from his family. Now, let me put it this way. If you love your husband's family, your husband will love your family. If you take care of your husband's family, your husband will take care of your family. If you are giving to your husband's family, your husband will be giving to your own family. If you are fighting against your husband's family, you may have interacted with a lot of men. When you ask them, why don't you take care of? They will tell you, my wife don't even take care of my own family. Why should I take care of their own family? I've seen it happen. Many of the men that you see that seem as if they don't care about their wife's family is because of the woman's attitude towards his own family. It's because of the wife's attitude towards their own family. So many of them, in anger, they react, they abandon your family. They don't care because they have seen how you treat their own family. And let me tell you something. There is no man that will be happy seeing you fighting against his family. Yes, some families may not be what you want, but Bible said as much as it will depend on you, follow after peace with all men. So when you get into that family, try the much you can to follow after peace with your husband's family. Stop trying to separate him from them. It is witchcraft. It is manipulation. And it is witchcraft, and witchcraft is evil. May God help you, and may God give you the grace, the power to stir up love, unity, and oneness in your family and in your marriage and in your husband's family. God bless you. I remain your pastor, Reverend Dan Ekeneze of the Gospel Grace Church, Lagos. God bless you.